sitting in the fire for a week and just facing off with it and just working with your body and retraining it to a new mind, I guarantee you that when you see your ex, you'll see a part of you used to be that you no longer are, and you'll have nothing but compassion and love for her.
For all the people that you've seen have successful long-term relationships, what is the thing that you see them do extremely well versus, they forgive each other, they
forgive the emotion. Now the emotion is going to keep you in the past, right? So they have to be able to forgive.
What happens if we don't forgive something that our partner or in a relationship does? If it hurts us, or they said something or they did something, maybe it was really bad or just...
If you can't forgive, you'll never have love.
Wow.
The love that we withhold is the pain that we experience lifetime after lifetime. You know, it's how it is.
Say it again, the love
that we withhold is the pain that we experience lifetime after lifetime.
Oh, man.
And then when we master our emotions, we master our creations. So that's a creation. And you have to overcome the memory and the emotion. And when you do, you belong to the future instead of the past.
Oh, man.
So otherwise, well, that's a perfect explanation of karma. You live by that emotion is going to drive a certain behavior and cause you to think a certain way, and you're on the wheel. People are living the same lifetime every day. They're in cycles. So they're living the same lifetime after lifetime because they haven't overcome the emotion. No one's doing that to them. The soul can't go to the future. It can't go if it's stuck in the emotion of the past. So the soul has to overcome the event by overcoming the emotion. Forget what happened. You'll never hear me say to anybody, tell me your story. I will never say that. I would never do that to you.
Wow.
I would say, overcome the emotion. And then the story ends.
Wow.
Because the memory without that emotional charge is the wisdom we get from the experience. We never have to do it again. And now the soul says, okay, I'm ready for the next adventure. Okay, so I was betrayed. Okay, I learned the lesson. I did this, I did that. Okay, I got it. But we discovered that when people analyze their life within some disturbing emotion, they make their brain worse 100% of the time.
Holy cow.
Because you're thinking in the past, the answer is not there. Overcome the emotion. Actually, thinking about it makes the brain worse. It drives them into higher states of arousal. Overcome the emotion, you have the answer to your own question. It's because it's not in the known. It's not in the past. You got to get beyond it. So I say to people, when they ask me questions, just 7 days, just cross the river. You're going to have the answers to your own questions. There's going to be no better life coach for you than you.
Right.
To get over this.
Right.
So then the person who shows up worthy in their life, person who's happy because they're making themselves happy, that's such an unknown for everybody that they've just left and showed back up in their life or they usually complain with. They're like, oh my God, this person's joined a cult. Oh my God, this person seems way too happy and they're happy without me, you know? And really it's just an energy that the person has broken out of the chains. They freed themselves from the chains of the past, right? And so that doesn't mean that they don't get frustrated, don't get angry. They just don't waste their time staying there because living by that emotion will create a gap between the way things appear and the way things really are.
Wow.
And if we respond during that period, we'll always say the same thing. I should have never said that. I should have never done that. I should have never sent that email or that text. You're altered in some way. So learning to shorten the refractory period of your emotional responses is emotional intelligence, right? And getting really good at that then allows a person to show up differently. And when people create the life they want, which happens a lot, why would they hold a grudge?
Right.
Why would they do that? They trust. They free themselves and they free that person. Like everybody's been betrayed. Everybody's been hurt. But if your life is wonderful, who cares? Like that. Whoa! I wasn't conscious or whatever. And then now it's when your life isn't working, and it ain't working, and you're living by the same emotion. And that passes. You're going to keep it alive, but you're the only one keeping it alive. Where is it? Where is your past? Where is it? It's only there, right?
It's in a memory.
It's a memory.
It's not here.
Yeah, it's not here. So then people spend enormous amounts of time not even knowing, not even aware that they're living in that state and always predicting. The default mode network in the brain is always predicting the next moment based on what it's learned in the past, right? Our
And if
data,
you're holding a grudge of the past, it's going to predict that in the future.
you're just going to get ready for the next one.
You're recreating the past.
Your future is your past.
Oh man.
Yeah. And that's all the known, right? So getting a person to no longer live in the predictable future, where they're just habituated, where they get up and do things and they're on a program. Getting a person, that's the predictable future is the known. Familiar past is the known. Living by the emotion, remembering the event. If the familiar past is the known and the predictable future is the known, there's only one place where the unknown can be.
Yeah.
And that's the present moment. Getting a person to labor for the present moment liberates energy in the body.
Wow.
And that's when the person starts feeling more like themselves and they don't feel as altered. And so you overcome the emotion of resentment. Just use this as an example by sitting in the fire for a week and just facing off with it and just working with your body and retraining it to a new mind. I guarantee you that when you see your ex, you'll see a part of you used to be that you no longer are, and you'll have nothing but compassion and love for her. And you'll be like, wow, I get it. I totally get it. It's no longer the past anymore. You're not connected to it any longer. And you free that person and your relationship changes and something shifts. And she's seeing you differently because you're showing up differently. And it's not anything you're saying. You're not lecturing them. They're just not showing up as the memory they had of you. And that allows them to be different. And that's a great service.
Yes. You mentioned about survival mode. When we're in survival mode, we're feeling stressed. And when we're feeling stressed, we're unable to feel that kind of self-love, love for self.
When you're in stress, you're altered.
You're altered.
You're altered. You're not your altered self. You're not yourself.
You're shaken. You're not feeling whole.
You've moved from love.
Right.
Yeah.
And when we enter a relationship from survival or stress or lack of worthiness or neediness, I need someone to make me feel more loved because I don't have it myself. What do we usually attract and create when we're attracting from neediness, survival, and a lack of wholeness?
Yeah, I think that all of that lack, all of that separation is separation from love, right? And the problem is that we've just been conditioned into thinking that it comes from out there. It comes from that person, that drug, that circumstance, that thing, that object, the app, whatever it is. And you're relying on your outer world to change your inner world. And so when things are good, you feel good. When things feel bad, you feel bad. So you're at effect. You're not at cause in any way. So what if, though, you had a way to find that independent of your outer world? The data we have suggests it's absolutely possible. Now you're free. You're free. Like, you don't need anybody or anything. You'll be a lot cooler to hang around with. Everybody be like, well, that's just, that would allow them, I know this. Your presence would allow them to move out of survival. They would open their heart a little bit more. They'd trust you a little bit more. They'd be more kind. They'd be more soft-spoken, more less egocentric. Your presence would do that, and may not be the first time, but they would start figuring out, like, wow, this guy is really different. Something's different about him, and that's just because you're present and you're giving them your attention without judgment. You see how hard it is to change. You've actually made that change. Because you've made that change and you see that you've made that change, but you see that in them, you're no longer judging them. You have compassion for them. Like, dude, that's a tough one.
It's tough.
Dude, it took me a long time to get over that, but you're not judging them. Like, what's wrong with you? You're like, oh my God, I totally know what that's like. You've crossed that river.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more inspiring clips like this, make sure to click right here to subscribe and click right here to watch that next video that is specific to support you in your life.